Hey Heather, happy Monday. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Michelle?
Oh my gosh, I'm good. You know what? I had the best morning. I just woke up with so much gratitude for all of the special people in my life.
It was
Obviously, you're one of them, but it was just, yeah, like I had to give myself almost this time and space. And I was thinking about how important that is for all of us. We give ourselves time and space to worry about things and to notice what problems we have and what's not going right. But literally just setting aside 5 minutes to realize what is going right and what you're grateful for, it shifts everything.
That's so interesting because I was thinking something similar along the same lines this morning. I had an amazing weekend. We had family and friends in town, and you came over, and just my house was filled with people. And I realized like how much I needed that like deep connection and healing. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I've kind of been in a funk lately, and things have just kind of, things have come up and been difficult. And so many times when things are hard, we like pull away and we go internal. But what I really needed was to connect and be with family and friends and talk and just love on each other. And it was so amazing. And so, like, trying to catch myself from pulling away next time and reaching out and being with people because I'm so full right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I feel the same way. And I loved being at your house with your friends and family and how many amazing people we have in our life. So that is so true though. I love what you just said. We do. When things are hard, we're like, oh, I want to pull in. And for me, sometimes that's because it's like I think I'm burdening other people with my problems, or I don't want to put that weight on someone, right? But it's so much lighter when you get to share it and be surrounded by people who love you and you love back.
It's so true. And it's interesting too how like when you're going through something, when someone opens up and shares something with you, it like takes your focus off yourself and you're able to like pour into someone else. And it just makes things seem lighter and more doable. And you realize we're all going through stuff and we're here to support one another and you're not doing it alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the game changer right there.
Absolutely. And look at what Michelle brought me this weekend.
She got it, her copy.
It's amazing. And I got a signed copy. So I feel really lucky.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it was about time I got it to you. But yes, in case anyone doesn't know, my book, 101 Ways to Set Your Soul on Fire, has come out. You can find it on Amazon. I'm getting a lot of amazing feedback. Some people are using it like tarot cards, where they just kind of flip to a page randomly and they see what their message of the day is. And I love that idea.
That's what I did this weekend. I was in kind of like a process and I just was kind of thinking about things, and your book was sitting on my coffee table and I literally just like thumbed through, flipped it open, and I read both sides of the pages, and they were so applicable to like what kind of things I was thinking of in my head and helping me work through some of those things.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for some questions? We already have a lot of questions of people that have written in, and then we'll try and get to some online as well that have been submitted.
Sounds great.
Okay, this question is from Mark. Hi, Michelle. Great to see you. Do you see FNNCH hiring me to help promote his new museum, style art space across from a popular park in San Francisco?
Yeah. So right now I'm getting the number like 85% chance. So it feels like you are in the lead for that position. I think there's someone behind you. I just want to tell you this, the energy from the guide, show up really clean. By the way, hi, Mark, but show up really clean in your energy. And the other thing that we can do when there is an opportunity that we really want, see it already done. So it's like, oh my gosh. And when I get this space, this is what I will do with it, or this is how I will create it. But it feels very, very, very likely. So I'm excited for you. Good luck with that.
That's really exciting. All right, our next question. This is Jill. I
Mhm.
have a reading from you, and based on your advice on going to visit my brother who is not well, can you advise if August 1st is it good, or is good time or a better time?
Yeah, I get two thumbs up. So it's a good time. I kind of remember this, Jill. I think this happened within June. I probably read for you because it doesn't feel like it was that far away. The goal, because Spirit's reminding me too, is the other reason why I'm remembering. The goal here is to spend quality time, right? So and think about this with all of our loved ones. And I guess we're going here today. A lot of times people transition that we love without us by their side, whether they're passing from suicide or in hospice or unexpectedly, whatever it is, right? Our loved ones, when they transition, never transition alone. They are met with love and compassion, family from the other side, life guides, angels, like this whole beautiful energy, our pets, just all of this is always there. So I want to tell people, no one ever transitions alone. Even if you're alone in the middle of the Sahara Desert, you're not actually alone. But what you're wanting, or what your guides are wanting for you, is for you to get that ability to have some quality time. And so for me, August 1st feels great.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, this next question has 2 questions. So I'll read the first one and then we'll read the second one. How does a spirit's face show up on a couch, cabinet door, same position, doesn't move?
Yeah, I love that. So that's a great question. You know, I have clients that have pieces of tile that has their son's face in it somehow. So here's 2 things about that. One, I don't know if we're talking superimposing. So what spirit can do, and they do this on people too, they almost like superimpose their facial features on either a solid surface like that, like a cabinet, or sometimes they will even do it on another person. So I don't know if any of you have had the experience where you're walking through and you're like, oh my God, that is my dad. And then you look and then you double look and you're like, wait, he looks nothing like my dad. But for 1 second, he looked just like him. What that was dad was superimposing his face on that person. So they're able to do that with solid surfaces and on people. Now, sometimes they can actually create it in a way where it was like this tile that the face is permanently there. And I do not know how spirit makes that happen, but I love it when they do.
That's amazing. Thank you. And the second part of that question is, I currently work at home. Should I go back out and work within the community with other people?
Okay, I'm getting a yes from your guides on that. Okay, there's a little bit they're laughing. They're like, oh, she's pretty comfortable at home. So think about this in life, right? It is comfortable to be at home. When we're at home, there's nobody triggering us, or we don't necessarily have to grow or work on ourselves at all. But when we let ourselves go back out into society and work with community and people, it's not just that it challenges us to heal more, but what it also does is it reminds us to bring our light wherever we're going. So normally when we're working with someone, we want to show up as the best version of ourselves. And so when you have that opportunity to be face to face, and this is kind of what you started with this weekend, Heather, when we were talking, that community contact, it is healing and there's love and there's growth in that. So I am feeling like, yes, it's time for you to get back out there more. I don't know if that's, 20% at home, 80% out in the world, but I do feel an energy pulling you back out.
Yeah, and I can totally agree with that. I've been working at home for about 1.5 years, and I have noticed how much I stay home and don't have that connection. So exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, our next question. Michelle, I have seen 2 separate rainbows in 2 days over my house at about the same time of day. What is spirit trying to tell me? And that's from Pam.
Okay, I love that. Thanks, Pam. When I feel into that for you, what I'm seeing, I actually feel your angels come in on this. And it's about promises. It's about moving forward. It's about seeing color again. So very often in our life, and it doesn't mean that you're in a bad place, because I'm not actually feeling that about you, Pam, but I feel like things are very routine. And so what they're wanting to do is break up the routine. So instead of looking for our normal everyday life, it's about what else do I want to see? What else do I want to connect with? They're showing me you. So you're going to have more opportunities coming in this year, but it's almost like they want to get your attention because you're just like, this is how life goes, right? Not that it's bad. It's just very routine. And they're saying, look for more.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question. Let's see. This is from Aubrey. Wondering with my upcoming move if I should sell most of my furniture, put it in storage and travel, or be signing a new lease in Oceanside straight away. Embracing change.
I love that. Well, congratulations on embracing change. That's huge. That is a challenge for a lot of us. Let me just feel what I feel about that. For some reason, I feel like you're going to travel. And so your guides are telling me to tell you to sell the furniture, because when you come back, you're going to be ready for some new stuff. But I actually see, I wouldn't be surprised if you end up in Oceanside when you come back. But it looks like to me, I mean, I don't know, a solid 6 months of travel coming in.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, have fun.
All right, this question's from Maya. Hi, Michelle. I've recently been through a very difficult time. I'm doing the healing work. However, I am wanting more joy in my life. What messages does the universe, my angels, guides have for me?
Yeah, I love that. So thank you, Maya. I am sorry you have been through a hard time. Joy is our birthright as humans, and we very often forget that. Joy is also the easiest way to raise our vibration, to connect with spirit, and to heal. So it's not just that you want more joy for you, Maya, it's that the whole universe wants more joy for you. And you're wanting me to go into this really quick with you. A lot of times when we are doing our healing work, we forget that we're also meant to have joy and fun and laughter and love and all of these great experiences along the way. And so when we get really serious and it's like, oh, I just got to do my work, I've got to do my work. There are moments and times and small periods like that, but we're never meant to push anything out of the way. So one of the things that they're telling me to tell you, right? Joy, start small with that. What is joy? Is that loving on your dog? Is that going for a hike, sitting by the ocean, your favorite comedy movie, whatever it is? But starting with that, giving yourself permission to receive it, and then stepping into bigger experiences. There's something coming up with travel for you. So I think they're showing me like almost like a 5-day trip. So I don't know if you've already planned that, but that's probably going to happen for you in August. It feels really important. The guides are saying to you right now, don't get stuck in, I have to work on healing, right? We do. It's always a work in progress. We will be for this whole lifetime. But when we get stuck on, after I heal, I'll be happy, we're literally shoving off our opportunity to be bringing in that joy during the day, even if it's just for a minute. Give yourself a balance. Travel, though, August, I'm filling 5 days for you.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Gina. I've had a hard time sleeping most of my life. There is always something keeping me from sleeping, like chronic pain, loud family, or annoying neighbors. My dog has even become restless lately.
Right. So that's a good question. I'm going to start with your dog, because your dog is restless lately because of your restless energy. So when we have animals that live with us and they're our soul family, they're living in our energy. And so a lot of times they will be there to help ground us, help stabilize us. Or if somebody is very anxious and now all of a sudden their dog is chewing up the couch, things like that, right? The dog is filling your energy. So the restlessness in your dog is part of, it's kind of a mirror for what you're doing right now. So I want you to see it that way. The other thing that I just heard your guide say as Heather was reading the question is that what's actually keeping you up at night is the story you're telling yourself. So we got to start with that. And that's a really big deal for all of us. I'm including myself in that because I tell myself stories too. Every human does, right? But what's happening right now, you're telling yourself a story that something's wrong, something needs to be fixed. Even you're telling yourself the story, I can't sleep. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I can never sleep, right? So there are a couple of stories that you have lined up and your guides are laughing. So I want you to know, when I feel guides and angels laughing, they are laughing with us, right? It's like they're patting us on the head like, oh my God, you're so cute. Why are we doing this? Like you would with a 3-year-old, okay? So this is kind of the energy. They're never laughing at us, but they're like, oh, that's sweet, right? So notice what stories you have lined up. Your guides are giving me the number 3. So you have 3 stories that you like to play on rotation. Obviously, one of them is going to start with the I can't sleep or I don't sleep well story. There's nothing more important than the way that we talk to ourselves. So I would just challenge you today to be like, I'm going to sleep better tonight than I have ever slept. Repeat it to yourself all day long. Say it again tomorrow. You're actually going to feel your brain start to shift as you let yourself embody a new message. But this is really not anything that is physically wrong with you. This is a lot. I know you said you have chronic pain, so I want to acknowledge that. But have you guys ever noticed when we are in pain or if we're nauseous or we're sick and we focus on that, it enhances it, right? It makes it worse because this is what we're doing energetically. We are literally amplifying that with our energy. So if I'm a little queasy riding in the car, like a little car sick or something, and I put my energy on that, I can actually unintentionally build that feeling until I'm like literally full blown car sick. But if I start to shift my energy and get in a good conversation or think about things that I need to do with work, right? I'm kind of pulling energy from it. So just notice where your energy is going and the stories that you're telling yourself. It's really important. Your guides are supporting you in this. They keep like giving me the tapping on the shoulder energy. So I know they're wanting to help you shift it. Also, use your dog, because your dog is obviously being almost a mirror for you. Let your dog show you where you're at, because your dog's happy to do that on a soul level. That's what our animals do.
Yeah, our animals are amazing. This weekend, when we had some friends over, someone was talking about something that was, was heavy and sad. And I noticed my dog went over into the corner and she threw up.
Mm.
And this isn't the first time this has happened, when there's like maybe like a heavier energy in the house or like a sadness or something like that. But it is so interesting how empathic they are.
Yeah, because they function on energy and they read it well.
Yeah, they're amazing. All right, our next question is, hi, Michelle, what are your steps to learning how to be more confident on and off camera?
Ooh, I love that question. That's a good one. Okay. So here's what I would tell you. First of all, when you're going to be on camera, you need to pick something that you feel good in when you wear it. Like, I don't care what that is for you. I don't care if it's your favorite t-shirt. I don't care if it's like your favorite dress, a suit and tie, whatever it is. I want you to dress in a way where you're like, this is my power outfit, right? So start with, what am I going to show up in? What outfit do I feel good? What color? All of those things, because it absolutely matters. And then I would also say, when we are in front of camera, and this is one of the things that really helped me with this, I realized that I'm actually not in front of the camera for me. I'm here because I'm here to be of service to others. And so very quickly, it takes the focus off myself. I don't worry that people are like, oh my God, her hair looks bad today or whatever. I mean, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, right? But giving yourself room like that. So notice, I do think clothing's important, but it's not actually the way I'm going to see it. It's, what do you feel good in? The other thing is that there are, things that we can do, right? We can practice, we can see ourselves in the mirror, we can do other things like that. What do I want to say before I go on? Have an outline ready or things like that. So there are a couple of tools, but I do think it matters. More importantly than what you're trying to remember to say is the energy that you're showing up in.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, I have never experienced being loved by someone who chose to love me rather than someone who was expected to. Why might that be?
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry that you feel that way, because that is heavy and I can feel the pain with that. Let me just kind of connect in with your guides on that. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Number one, they're telling me that's not a true story. So there are going to be friends in your life. There are going to be animals in your life. There are going to be beautiful souls that have chosen to love you for who you are. But part of this might be your soul story or your soul narrative that you're telling yourself. So I'm just seeing there's a lot coming through. So I'm trying to filter right now. Okay. So the guides just said real clearly that you tend to see yourself as unlovable. And this is not just a you thing. I want to be really clear. So I'm not like pointing you out on this, because there are times in everyone's life where they feel unlovable. They feel too broken, too whatever it is, right? And feel literally unlovable. So what they're wanting me to tell you is start thinking about shifting the vibration, because when we're looking in the world to say there is no one in this whole world who loves me for me, we are now closing a lot of options that are available to us, right? And so start looking, but number one, it's got to start with loving yourself, because we become vibrational matches for the people that we're pulling in. The other thing, though, is if you're feeling that no one else has ever chosen to love you, you're being called to choose to love yourself beyond what you can imagine. And I'm literally seeing your guides with floodgates of people who want to love you in that same way. So it's a little bit of work you need to do, where you need to ask yourself, like, maybe I'm choosing people in my life who don't love me for me. Why? What's my soul wanting to learn here, right? And the other thing is actually, do you love you for you, so that you can vibrationally pull those people in? I'm going to expand this a little bit on this question, but it goes in. So I had a conversation a couple weeks ago with a beautiful woman who said to me, there are no good men left. There are no good men left. They are all taken. There are no good men left. And I literally looked at this beautiful woman and I was like, is that the story that you want to tell yourself? That's not it. Number one, it's not a true story. She has free will. She can tell it to herself. But I choose to see great men everywhere I go. Heather's husband is a great man. I work with great men. I see great men everywhere I go. It doesn't mean I'm going to date them, right? But I see great men. I allow myself to see that in the world. The reason this is coming back in is because it's also something about you allowing yourself to see people who do love you. And it's literally right here on your right side. I don't know why, but there's almost like, it feels like a shield. So it's like, I don't see people who love me, but let's take down the shield so you can see the people who do.
That was such a great question. I love that.
Great question. Thank you for sharing, because that's also a very vulnerable question, right? And I want to say this too. The guides are going on. So that was definitely, we needed to get to that. So the other thing about that question is this. We look at people and we assume they don't love us. And I have to say, very often that is a false story. Okay. And the reason that I'm going to say that is maybe we're looking at a mom or a dad or whoever we're looking at in our life, a partner, I don't know, or kids, and we say, they don't love me. That is not a true story. They might love you to the best of their ability, but it's not the way you want or needed to be loved. So, but there's a difference there. They do love you. They just love you in their way, and it's not the way that you're wanting to receive it. So there's something about that too that goes into play here.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Debbie. Hi, the company that I work for has put up for sale some of the facilities that they own, which may eliminate my position. Do you see this happening in my future? And if so, what direction should I take?
Okay. There's two things about this. The guides are saying, number one, they're giving me the word lateral move. So I think you're going to I think you're going to stay within the company. I think you're going to get some type of lateral position or new title, whatever that is. So I don't feel like you're losing your job. But the overall part of this is asking you to move forward with your life, because there's a lot of this that is unfulfilling. I don't think you're going to feel you're going to be supported as far as, I want to say, financially and have your paycheck and all of that. But I just feel like you're already disconnected from it. I don't feel like you're like, oh my God, I love what I do. And because of that, you're being asked to see what else is coming in for you. They're also giving me this little sign for money. So whatever you bring in next, I think you will be looking for a job within the next 4 to 6 months. But it's not because you don't have one. It's because you're going to become curious about what else the universe has for you.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is, I don't know what direction to take because I've made so many mistakes in relationships. I've dug myself a huge hole that I don't know how to get out of. Any guidance would be very much appreciated.
Yeah, I love that. Here's kind of the challenge with me, because I don't buy into the story of mistakes. I buy into patterns and lessons, right? So nothing on a soul level is considered a mistake. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Our souls come to learn and grow and evolve. And our soul doesn't go to heaven and say, oh, here's my list of mistakes, right? That's not how it works. We go, here's what I've learned. So the question is this for you. What pattern do you need to break? What is it that your soul is wanting to learn from these relationships that aren't actually getting you to where you want to go? And the minute that you notice that, the shifting starts, because they're already showing me you starting to climb out of the hole. And I want to just acknowledge this. The fact that you sent this question in is you starting to climb out of the hole. So congratulations on that. Okay. It's actually a big deal. You've already done the first thing. You've recognized, okay, this isn't working for me. So instead of focusing, I want you to play with the idea of what was my soul trying to learn? What did I need to know here? And honor that that part of you is already the past you, because you're getting ready to step into your future. So as you're balancing what they're telling me to say, the past and future you, it's about bringing your energy in right now. So very often we get We get pulled. We're thinking about the past or worried about the future, and we forget to be in the present moment. In this present moment is where all of your power is. It's where you're creating the steps that lead to the future that you want to go. So I'm going to tell you, number one, you're not broken. You haven't made a lot of mistakes. This is a really big turning point in your life. I want you to embrace it. I want you to dream. I want you to think about what it is you want to bring in and who you want to be, because that's how you're going to get to where you're going. There's no such thing as mistakes. And this pattern is broken. Your guides are telling me that you've learned this is complete. Digging yourself out of the hole, it's not so much financially or anything like that. It's more emotionally, right? We can go into holes emotionally, mentally, financially, all of it. Sometimes we find ourselves in the hole around all of that, but we've got to find that lifeline that pulls ourselves out. You've already got the lifeline in your hand. You have to just continue to keep looking up, is what I'm being told. And I feel like in the next 3 months, there are some big shifts coming in for you. They feel really, really good. So I don't know if this is a new job, a new place to live, but I feel like it's almost what your guides just said is when you decide to change your life, you more than most can make it happen quickly and effortlessly within months. So in 3 months, you're going to be on here messaging us like, oh my God, I'm nowhere near who I was at the end of June. I'm excited about that for you. Don't forget how powerful you are. You're not a weak soul. You're a very strong, powerful soul. What life do you want?
Thanks, Michelle. All right, our next question is from Christina. My grandmother just died from Alzheimer's. She was the kindest person, making her suffering hard to accept. Did she know that we were with her as she died? Was she in pain? What signs can I look for?
Okay, so I got yes, she knew you guys were with her. No, she was not in pain. And let's talk about this for a minute, because a lot of times they know we're with them when they're transitioning, not because they're hearing us in their physical ear talking to them, but because their soul is already in the room, right? And their soul is starting to separate from the body, starting to see like the bigger picture. And that's what I'm really feeling with your grandma. She's giving me like the number 3. So 3 days before she officially transitioned, there was a separation, right? Where I would say 95% of her was already not connected to her body. And I would think at least one person in the room noticed that. There are a lot of signs too. So your grandma's telling me this though, that she's wanting me to use the words gentle. So I need to say that her passing was gentle. It doesn't look pretty on the human side, but for her, it was gentle. That's really important for everyone to know. She's showing me butterflies. I don't know if you're the one who looks up at the moon and watches like the phases of the moon, but she's showing me literally the moon. So I would look for things where pictures of the moon pop up on Instagram or the word moon. There's something about that. Or if you're one of these people who goes out and looks at the moon every night, just know when you're in that space, give her time to give you that nudge, that kiss, that hug, because her energy's right there next to you.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, our next question. I would like to check in on my son today. It is 6 years that he crossed over.
Okay, my heart is with you. Let's connect with him. Okay, so he's giving me a B name. So I don't know if he's connected to, if he has a B name or he's connected with a B name in spirit, but I want to say we're here together. We're here together. So I need to acknowledge that. The other thing that I want to, he's funny. So I need to say he's funny. He's giving me this energy of, singing, dancing. He sends you a lot of music. Keep talking to him. He is hearing everything that you're saying. The other thing that I need to acknowledge with this is the telepathic communication that you are already having with him, right? So he's funny. He just said, it's like my mom wants me to, like shoot off fireworks and be like, okay, that's from him. I'll accept that sign. But he's telling you it's the little things. And so that's where he's working with you right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I know 4th of July is coming up. You're going to get some fireworks, but there's an energy of just firework from him. Pay attention to that. He likes to give you noises because he's telling me noises. So be aware what areas of the house you hear tapping, or it sounds like somebody's walking, a door accidentally slammed shut. I don't know. It's like he wants to be very audible. He wants you to hear that he is right there with you. So please know he is around you, not just today, but every day.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, our next question. This is from Holly. Hi, Michelle, love and light. What would be the most help to my oldest son who is struggling with obesity and can't hold a job?
Yeah. Hi, Holly. Okay, let me just fill into his energy for a minute. So, the first thing that I'm being told to say from your guides is that the obesity is just a symptom, right? It's not actually, there's this energy of what is. So I see two things on him. One, he's trying to protect himself from the outside world. I think he has a very sensitive heart and sensitive soul. And sometimes our bodies literally put weight on when we feel like we're being attacked or we need protection because they're trying to energetically buffer us from what we're perceiving to be real. So that's part of it. But the other part of it that I want to say is the void. So it's the void of what he is feeling. So he is filling the void with food. And listen, we do this with everything. We do this with drugs. We do this with alcohol. We fill voids with food. We fill voids with distractions, all of this. So number one for him, I want to say the guides are saying, focus on the void. Then number two is focus on I'm safe, I'm already solid, I'm protected, I don't need that. He doesn't want to focus on the void. So this is important to know because he's trying to, okay, they just said use food also as a distraction. So he is using it in two ways, kind of to protect himself, to fill the void, and then also as a distraction. So it's his tool or his coping method. But the root, right? So I want you to think of this. We see a flower coming out of the ground or a weed, we could just cut off the leaves to it, but there's still roots to it in the ground. It's the roots are what's in the void, and those are what need to be addressed to help the rest of him blossom into who he's meant to be.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this will be our last question for today. We have lots of questions that have come in, so it's been amazing.
Oh.
All right, this question is from Jennifer. A few months ago, I saw, just for a split second, a translucent image of a tall woman in my home. I couldn't see her face and don't know who she is yet. I felt like I know her. Was it my imagination?
I got absolutely not. So it is not your imagination. I think you saw. She feels like a life guide to me. So I think this is one of your life guides that is reaching out to you and wanting to make a very personal connection. I would also say start talking to her because now that you kind of have an image of what she looks like, start calling her in, asking her for help. You've already created a soul connection.
Thanks, Michelle, and thank everyone for all your questions.
Yeah, thank you. I always love this time together. It's so fun and it's also so awesome. You guys send in the best questions and I know that every question that gets answered, multiple people benefit from it. And that's one of the reasons why I love to do this. My biggest takeaway from everything the guide said today is that we really need to focus on the story that we're telling ourselves, right? Because even going back to that lady's son, he's telling himself some kind of story that's not accurate because it's creating a feeling of void, right? We are all, no matter what your life looks like, no matter what patterns, quote, mistakes as we had earlier, whatever lessons it is that we're wanting to learn, our souls are always whole. And the minute that we start realizing that we are strong, powerful souls having a human experience, now we can start altering the stories that we're telling ourselves so that we can really achieve the lives that we came to live.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead. I always love this time together.